Spoiler warning for everything through Battleground. Chauncy, or Chaunzagoroth, if you're trying to get in touch, is the demon that Harry Dresden calls up in Full Moon. Harry's looking for some information on a case, and apparently this isn't the first time that he's contacted our guy Chauncy. Chauncy has a bit of a reputation as an information broker, and he's already got 2 of Harry's names. The thing about names is that if you have somebody's full name, spoken from their own lips, you can do some nasty magic with that stuff. And by the end of the encounter, Chauncy leaves with 3 of Harry's names. Harry's got 4 names, so we're getting real close to having a problem here. Chauncy did try to get the 4th name, but he kind of failed his persuasion check when he tried to sell Harry some information about his mother in exchange for that last and critical name. And as of Battleground, we haven't seen him since. So why was Chauncy even here? Was he here for a one-time purpose? Was he going to be in a future book and then that plotline sort of got dropped later on? Or is he going to pop up at the worst possible time to mess with Harry? Knowing Jim Butcher, he's going to mess with Harry. In fact, at the 2016 Dresden Files Reddit Q&A session, Jim was like, yeah, I can't see how we can avoid seeing him in the 2nd book of the big Apocalyptic Trilogy. That's the one titled Hell's Bells, so... But he said at another appearance that Chauncey's small potatoes. And while he's not that important, his information does sort of flow up the org chart, so to speak. So certain devilish beings are definitely going to be able to use this information to screw with Harry. So how will that happen? Well, Chauncy and his buddies downstairs have 3 of Harry's names. This has to be significant, right? Well, in Grave Peril, Harry talks about how exactly this stuff works, and apparently names have a shelf life. It's difficult with people. People's self-concepts are always changing, evolving, so even if you get someone to tell you their full name, if you try to establish the link when they're in a radically different mood, or after some life-changing event that alters the way they see themselves, it might not work. A wizard can get a person's name only from their own lives, but if he doesn't use it fairly quickly, it's likely to go stale. Harry's gone through a lot of changes in the series. The book changes being the most obvious example of Harry not being the same person at the end of the story as he was at the beginning. He's now a father, he's now the Winter Knight, he's also gone through some heartbreak that's really his own fault, and he's done a lot of stuff to make people think of him more as a monster than as the wizard who advertises his services in the phone book. Do the Yellow Pages even exist anymore? Pepperidge Farm remembers. No matter how badly Dresden has tried to hold on to his sense of self and his humanity through the series, he's starting to crack a little bit. This might actually help him in a way, because even if Chauncy and his buddies have the 4th name, they're not really going to be able to use it against him. Well, depending on the speaker's power level, that is. Remember the dragon Farovax from Grave Peril? You know, another character who was in a book, kind of important sounding, and then just hasn't appeared since. Well, he was at the peace talks, but he didn't really do anything. Word of Jim is that he's coming back for the big Apocalyptic Trilogy, and we all know that he has a safe in one of Marcone's vaults that has treasure in it. And that treasure may or may not be what he got in Grave Peril at Bianca St. Clair's ball. Remember the gifts that people were getting that ended up infecting them? Yeah, that treasure. By the way, tell me in the comments down below if you want me to do a video on Pharaoh. Farovax is so powerful. How powerful is he? Farovax is so powerful that Athena acknowledges him. She scares him so much that he only offers stealthy help to the Accorded Nations because he doesn't want her to know that he's not on her side, and how that would just make things, awkward in the worst possible way. Okay, so that doesn't make him seem big and powerful, but he's a dragon, so he is. Anyways, Pharaoh's able to say 1 or 2 of Harry's names at Bianca St. Clair's ball, and then Harry just gets the heebie-jeebies and he's like, oh my god, I made a mistake, this is bad. The magic Harry experiences scares him, and it takes him down a peg or 2. It's almost like Harry was being a jerk, which he does sometimes, and Pharaoh's like, oh, that's adorable. Because of this, I think it's at least possible for somebody downstairs to use some of Harry's names, not even all 4 names, and still make him think twice about why he even said his names in the first place. We all know that Book 2 of the big Apocalyptic Trilogy is going to be called Hell's Bells, so it's probably going to happen there. I think I said that already, but whatevs. But there's one more thing that we need to discuss. Will saying Harry's full name hurt him? Or is it going to make the person who said it regret all their life choices? At the end of Stormfront, Book 1 of the entire series, Harry ends the book by saying, "My name is Harry Blackstone Copperfield Dresden. Conjure it at your own risk." At a book signing in Kansas City, Jim Butcher says that this entire series is Harry looking back, writing his diaries, and it's completely in retrospect after all this stuff has happened. He also goes on to clarify that Harry's name is a lot more dangerous to other people than it is to him. That's why he's able to say his name to Sharkface, who's an outsider, a big bad guy, and get away with it. We all know that Dresden has powered up a lot over the series, and he scares even people that consider him to be a friend. So by the end of the series, Harry's probably not even concerned about people using his name because he knows he could win in a fight. Alright, so that was sort of a convoluted answer to the whole, is Chauncy going to be a problem later on question. I'm having fun with these Dresden tinfoil hat theories, And if you have a suggestion, leave a comment down below. If you're having a good time, leave me a like. And subscribe if you want more of this in your inbox. Bye!